Take a look at the top trending page in Roblox. What do you notice? Brain rot, after brain rot, after brain rot. But why? Are they AAA level games with next level graphics? Are they super complex with compelling and unique mechanics? No, they're trendy, and that's exactly why they work. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Intercept, and today I'm going to be going over what goes into making a game so successful. Now, most people might think, oh, you need to put a lot of time and money or Robux into a game to make it stand out and become super popular, and they couldn't be more wrong. In fact, at least 72% of the games that are currently trending took just a little under or only up to a week to make, polish, and launch. Now, when we take a look at most of these newer games coming out, they almost feel rushed. And that's because they are. Especially in the current time of trends in Roblox game lifetime, getting on a trend train as quickly as you possibly can is the biggest key to making a successful game. Let's take a look at Grow a Garden. Grow a Garden revolutionized the Grow a game category and became the cornerstone to hundreds of popular idle grows offline simulation games. At its peak, Grow a Garden hit numbers up to 22 million CCU and amassed nearly 35 billion total visits. By June of 2025, Grow a Garden's average CCU was 2.7 million. That was the average. So how long did it take to make? 3 days. You may be saying,
But Intercept, it's an AFK simulator with super simple stud graphics and nothing else to it, so why did it do so well?
because it could be built off of. There were thousands of other games that revolved around this theme of game that made huge profits and picked up amazing stats. You can find games today that are still holding up that include that grow a theme. So how can you do it? Find a trend, build it fast, and release it right. If you can afford it, even using templates to push out your version of a trend can be a great investment. Unfortunately, there will come a time where a once popular game, no matter how truly incredible the game is, will die. They might still get new content, still have a somewhat active community, but just won't get the peak that they once had. If a project fails, don't feel discouraged. Push it to the side and focus on the next one. Trying to revive or keep a dying game alive is one of the most harmful things you can do in a development journey. I'm going to use a couple of projects that I was involved with as an example for this section. You may remember this game from one of my previous videos. This is +1 Animal Speed Escape by Block Turns, which followed the +1 speed trend. This game actually was, or came close to, a record-breaking game for us in terms of peak CCU. We held this game at nearly 3,000 to 5,000 CCU for a month or two before it began to slowly die out. Once we realized it wasn't worth saving and to just let become background revenue, we moved on to our next game, Build a Ladder for Brain Rots, obviously following the brain rot trend. While it may not look like much, this game is already showing some promising results. In just a few days, we have triple-digit CCU and are pushing updates and bug fixes every minute we can to keep players engaged and to increase the average playtime. The main goal to keep in mind with projects like these are to stay with the trend and to capitalize on it. Once a trend starts to slowly dwindle, pounce onto the next one as quickly as you possibly can. When it comes to your development journey, the best thing you can do is to form a team. Get some people who will scout games to take inspiration from or to find trends that you can capitalize off of. Don't waste time trying to make one game and to constantly attempt to push it to the algorithm and to get it to rise to fame. Use that time to make what has already been done, but better. Now, this section will not apply to everyone. In fact, it may not apply to anyone watching this video, but it is still super important to learn about, especially if you're serious about development. We should all know what investing is, but if you don't, and in a very sketchy nutshell, investing is when you put money into something to earn more money over time, or in this case, probably Robux. Investing in a Roblox game could go a long way. For something like this, I would highly recommend learning how to read the performance graphs and learning how to predict shifts in them. The reason for that is so you know if a game is worth sinking time and Robux or money into. The timeline of the events should be release a game, focus on it for about a month, and then check the stats to determine if it's worth keeping up with. To view performance and retention of a game, you want to head to your Create tab at the top of your Roblox page. Select the creator to filter between where projects are held, such as a personal project linked to your profile or a group. Then you're going to want to choose the game you want to see the stats of. And then, in the list on the left side, you will want to choose any of the selections under the Analytics tab, the most important being retention, engagement, and acquisition. My graphs look a little bit empty right now, as this is the game I referenced that my group just released, so there isn't a ton of activity just yet. It is super important that you take the time to learn what each individual category tracks and means for your project. This will make or break your game. Make sure you check these stats daily, as this will help determine if it is worth keeping up with the project. On the more in-depth side of this section, purchasing games in full might also be a good form of investment. Please do note that this requires pretty sufficient knowledge in the stats I just showcased and the skill of predicting trends and potential at a project. Ideally, you want to purchase a game in full instead of just a percentage. Percentage ownership can be a little risky, and buying a game in full will be a bit more expensive. That means all revenue will go directly to you rather than just some of it. This is also called acquisitions, which is actually what a lot of big name developers do. They find a game with good potential that is already making decent revenue, purchase a share or the game in full, and then flip it to make it 10 times more popular than it was before they purchased it. A great example of this would be Doobig. Doobig saw potential in Grow a Garden, purchased it, and then it blew up and he made an insane amount of profit. Now, this isn't something you want to immediately indulge yourself in. Learn the development scene first, and then create a good foundation before pouring your earnings into investing in other games. Actually learning the skills to making a game is going to go way further than just hiring people to do it for you. But hiring is also a very good way to go. I'll get to that one later. Learn everything, even if you don't master the skill. Building, scripting, modeling, animating, GFX, learn it. You can find so many different tutorials on these skills to become knowledgeable enough to know what needs work and what can be done different in a project. Most newer developers might think they're skilled enough, create something that they think is amazing, but actually isn't all that great and just completely flops. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Learn a skill and take your time. Trust me, it will pay off. This can also help score you a gig with a development group or help open commissions for you to work. You'll get the dev credit, and you'll be able to climb the ladder in making a solid name for yourself. Just like anything in life, you can't succeed in something unless you put the time and effort towards it. This very much goes with game development. It is super stressful, tedious, and time-consuming, but the more you do it and learn, the more proficient and successful you will become. Making a team of developers can be super efficient and worthwhile. This helps you separate tasks and not have to worry about handling every aspect of a project yourself. This does go towards a sort of investment, and it's pretty uncommon for people to work for free depending on their skill set. Not only that, you will have to share the profit and pay out for their labor, so it can be sort of risky. Most of the games you play on Roblox are generally never made by one person. I'm not saying that there aren't solo devs who have made successful games, but it is more common and likely that a popular game was made by 3 or more people. This is also why some of these trending games are only made within a few days. You have one or more person doing one specific thing, while other people are on the opposite side of the game doing other things. It is super efficient and why it's so easy for big studios to recycle games and continue to make hit after hit. In all, teamwork makes the dream work, and it's a great way to build up any skill you have. To put everything together, being a developer and becoming a successful one at that is not easy. You will not get it on your first try, and you will fail time and time again. But do not give up. As long as you put the time towards it, find the right people, and believe in yourself, you can do anything. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this to be informative or helpful in any way, please consider dropping a like on this video and subscribing. Also, comment down below what other things you would like me to talk about and if you would like any other specific tutorials. I would like to make a note real quick that I'm going to start doing YouTube live streams and playing with you guys. So if you are interested in playing some games, be sure to subscribe with post notifications so you get notified whenever I go live and you guys can suggest the games and join me and we'll have an amazing time. With that, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day or night, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.